using that's generating us a steady flow of leads every single day and booked appointments every single day. As a matter of fact, I've got 4 booked appointments today from this technique that I'm going to be showing you. All right, so we are live on YouTube. We are live on Zoom. Welcome, glad you guys are here. So we do this every week. The goal of this, Rocket Fuel Weekly, is to give you guys some tactics, tips, tools, and strategies around Genie Rocket. If you don't know what Genie Rocket is, it is the all-in-one sales and marketing tool. If you don't have it, you can get a free trial at genierocket.com. And it's a game changer. We have been running everything off of it for ourselves and our clients. It's built on the high-level platform, and it has just been phenomenal. Imagine having a tool that you can send out emails from, text from, build landing pages, run ads, automate follow-ups, leverage AI, like everything that you can think of, having it in one place. And then we provide ongoing support and coaching on that tool itself, which is why people like to get it from us and use and trust the Genie Rocket brand. So if you don't have it, go to genierocket.com and start your free trial. Today, we're going to be talking about generating leads. How in the world do we generate consistent flow of leads? And I'm going to be showing you how we do it for ourselves and our clients. And so much so that I'm going to actually we're going to take a peek behind the curtain of our own Genie Rocket account with real data and real ads, just showing you what we're doing and how it works. So let me go ahead and share my screen and let's get started here. I'm going to do this one. Yep. So generating leads with Genie Rocket, really it's generating leads with ads. Now, if you've ever done ads before, people have a love-hate relationship with ads because it's like, hey, they work sometimes, or they've never worked for me. Everybody has their own story. And what I will tell you is ads work, and they actually work really well. The difference between a successful ad and a failing ad is not necessarily the platform. We can't say Facebook doesn't work, Instagram doesn't work, LinkedIn doesn't work, Google Ads doesn't work, TikTok doesn't work. They are working for the right business with the right offer, targeting the right audience. So step one is actually knowing who is your audience. What platform are they on is step one. And step two is like, do I actually have an irresistible, no-brainer offer that people would feel stupid saying no to? You know, Alex Hormozi talks about that a lot, like the irresistible offer. Same with Russell Brunson. And guys, it's so true. If you've heard that before and you're rolling your eyes, that's fine. But know that when you have a really great offer and you have it dialed into your audience, like you're gonna get results. And the beauty is, if you're using Genie Rocket, you know, this is the tool to help you actually launch and manage those results. So you don't have to go chasing around a bunch of different tools and driving yourself crazy. So let me show you what we're doing. I'll just jump right in. So you can see we have like different ads that we're turning off and on at different times. Like we've got some that are paused, some that are live. We've got one right now that's doing like we're spending $25 a day on. And if we look at statistics, you know, we can see over the past month, we haven't really spent that much. Like we need to crank this up. We just kind of got things going back on. So we've spent $1,000 on ads. And with that, we have generated 63 leads. That means 63 people have given me their name, phone, and email, which is my average cost per lead is $16.41. This isn't me buying a leads list and paying per lead of someone that's not interested. This is actually people that saw an ad, clicked on it, and filled out a form. 63 people for $1,000, which is, if you've never done ads before and you don't understand what any of these numbers mean, this is great. How do you know if this is great for you? Well, think about what does your product cost and what is your conversion rate? And if you are profitable on that, it is a green light. You need to be spending as much money as possible to do that. Like, so if we say like, hey, we're trying to get people in for ongoing monthly, let's say it's, you know, about $300 a month for one of our programs. And I got 63 people to raise their hand and say, you know what, I'm interested. It doesn't take me many of those to be profitable, right? So if I even look at it from a one-time cost, I'm talking about a monthly subscription, which is $297 a month. So really, I'd be happy if I can close one of these into a $297 a month. If it costs me $1,000 to get a $300 subscription, after month 3, it's profitable. If I can get 3 people out of 63 to say yes and give me $297 a month or $300 a month, right? That's just about this right here. And then month 2 and beyond are profitable, right? I'm not spending anymore to acquire that customer. So this is like your cost of acquiring a customer. You have to understand what is your marketing conversion rate, and then what is your sales conversion rate. Marketing conversion rate is right here. Hey, we can acquire a lead for $16.41. And then the question is, out of the 63, how many of those can we convert into a sale? And then once we have that metric, then we know, let's say if it's like 50%, hey, it cost me, let's just say like $32 or $35 to convert a lead into a sale. Am I willing to spend $35 for a $297 product? The answer should be yes, right? And then you continue to optimize that number. And you have to realize there's a really famous quote by a gentleman named Dan Kennedy, who is arguably the best sales direct response copywriter in the world. And he says, the one who can spend the most to acquire a new customer will win. What does that mean? It means don't be afraid to spend the money to get the customer, because if your product or your service is great, then you shouldn't worry about them coming back and returning to buy more from you or referring that to other people. So if you're selling something that is $100 and it costs you $99 to get that person, and you only make $1 profit, or maybe that's to your cost, you should still do that deal. And your business model might need to change to figure out how you can be more profitable, or how you can turn that one-time customer into a repeat customer, or if there's upsells and upgrades they can do after they make that initial purchase. You should be obsessed with understanding these numbers and knowing your cost per conversion, your cost per sale, and how much you're willing to spend, because this is the gasoline to grow your business. Yes, you can go to networking events. Yes, you can go to marketing meetings. Yes, word of mouth and referrals. Those are all great. Those are all good, but nowhere else can you put fuel in the tank that will get you 63 interested people while you're not doing anything, right? I was just on a call with a prospect that came through the system. It was a lead, and I was trying to get him to sign up for this. And I was telling him, like, how you got here, how we're having this conversation is the exact same thing I'm trying to do for you. And this is our process for doing it. And so whenever it's like, how do I know this works? What's funny is most of the time people that are on the calls with me, I'm like, well, you're here, so it worked. We just do it the same thing for you. Exact same thing. So looking back at this, like if we look at this last month, I can see again, 50,000 people saw this ad, 614 people clicked on the ad, and 63 people gave their name, email, phone number, and answered some questions on that ad. And all of this was exchanged and traded for about $1,000. $1,000 for 50,000 people seeing it, 614 clicks, and most importantly, 63 conversions. And now it's my job to turn those leads into sales. So if I go back here, look through all my campaigns I've done, you can see the one that's on right now. This is usually what I measure. So I turn these on and I look at, like, okay, which ad am I running that is giving me the most amount of leads for the least amount of money? And I can see that right here. So within that month, I can see my cost per lead on this specific ad is only $8.96. So I've spent $241 to get 29 leads for $8.96 per lead. Now you might be wondering, like, well, where do those other numbers come from? There's that other cost up there. That's the other ads I was split testing to see which one I wanted to keep on. And this is the one that ended up working. So if I go back to this ad, I can click on this again. I can see all the details on it. I can see, even lifetime. If I look at, let's just say this year. This year on this ad, I've spent $2,700 I've gotten 313 leads, and my average cost per lead is $8.86. So again, the question is, am I willing to spend this kind of cash, $2,700 for 313 opportunities to convert a lead into a sale? The problem at this point is not lead generation, it's sales. And that's where we have to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, do I have a lead problem or do I have a sales problem? The good news is with Genie Rocket and all the tools in here, and if you listen to my coaching, you will not have a lead problem. You can go in and launch ads and get leads. And the part that sometimes requires more work and the hard look in the mirror is like, hey, when these people I'm reaching out to, when they're jumping on Zoom calls and I'm having conversations, if I can't close them into a sale, yes, they have to be a marketing qualified lead, but a lot of the times the issue and the gap between the lead and the sale, it's not, oh, Facebook's broken or this ad didn't work or didn't give me the right people. It's, I'm not doing a very good job of closing this lead into a sale, which means I need to either change my language, I need to change my offer. There's something that needs to change because it's really easy to put marketing as a scapegoat and say like, oh, this didn't bring me a qualified lead. And we need to make sure we're changing that language because a qualified lead does not mean all the time that this rarely happens, where they just hop on the call, credit card in hand, ready to go, no further questions. Please take my money. Like, let's do it. If you've got a super low ticket offer, that might happen. I do one call closes all the time for like the, $300 a month. But usually it requires some sort of consultation and some sales skills. So the reason I bring that up is just to make sure, like when you are turning your ads on and you're getting leads in, make sure that you are paying attention, that you're self-aware to know, are these good qualified leads and I'm just need to increase my skill level at sales? Or if it's not a qualified lead, what do I need to change in my ads? And we'll go to that next here in a second. That's going to bring me more qualified leads. Because when you can differentiate qualified leads versus sales, then you can know where to spend your time and energy on so you can get the results that you want for your business. All right, so let's look at the ad that's performing. And I'm going to show you how shockingly simple it is. And it's the one that has outperformed every single ad that I have launched and tried with, even like AI videos and other graphics. This simple one I'm about to show you is the one that gets results. Okay, so over here on the right, again, this is all in Genie Rocket, which is very cool. You can like design stuff in Canva. You can use AI built into Genie Rocket. You can come up with ad content, ad creative right here. So all we do is we're leading in with a case study ad. This positions real results from a real client. We're not saying, look how great we are. We're saying, look at the results this person got with our program. So the ad creative is just 168 leads in 2 weeks for less than $3 a pop. True story. I'm not saying we're guaranteeing that for you. I'm saying this is what we did for somebody else. And so if that's interesting, let's have a conversation. And a really simple graphic, that's the ad. This is the text. Achieve results like Caroline, 168 high quality leads in just 2 weeks at an incredible cost per lead. This process amplifies your business and work as your unstoppable digital sales team 24/7. Are you ready to unlock your next level of growth? Check this out. This even has a grammatical error in it and it's still working like crazy, right? Like it does not have to be perfect. It just has to be compelling. So this is the ad. 168 leads, 2 weeks, your 24/7 sales machine, ready to see how far you can go. Again, we're leading people into the journey of let's see what kind of results you can get. We're not selling them 168 leads for $3 a pop. Obviously, if we can get them for $3 or less or around that, that's a great win. But this is the ad. Super simple. So that's it. When people click learn more, they actually fill out the contact form right in here, and you can create this in Genie Rocket. So I think, let's see, oh yeah, updated. Well, it's going to show you a preview here. So again, and don't worry about if you get stuck on the tech here. Again, we've got 24/7 live chat support with Zoom, or you can watch this replay in YouTube on Genie Rocket under the live stream. But this is where you put in the information that people actually fill out on the ad itself. We're not taking them to a landing page. We're not taking them to a website. They're saying, yep, I'm interested. Here's my information. So we're asking, how many leads do you get per month? If you had a magic wand, what would change your life? What's your monthly current revenue? How serious are you about your goals? What's your company website address? So people are filling out all this information. It's kind of hard for them to have a fat finger slip on some of these. So I know before I jump on a meeting, if they filled this out, they're a marketing qualified lead because they're telling me what their revenue is. They're giving me their website. I can see if they've opened up emails prior to that. So when I've got 2 or 3 more of these today, I can take a look at this before I even hop on a call and have a pretty good idea if they're going to be serious about growing their business and if we're going to be a good fit. So this gets launched. We're live. Your ads are going. People start to see them. Usually within like a couple hours. Leads usually start to flow in within 24 to 48 hours. And then that's part 1. What I'm going to show you too is the magical part 2 that makes all of this incredible. This is when I can be on vacation with my family. Like I was at Disney World last year around Christmas time. I had the same ad going, and I still had about 10 leads coming in every single day, and half of them booking appointments with me all through that same ad in the system I'm about to show you. Works like magic. So let's go to right here. So this is a workflow. I don't want to overcomplicate this. So just hang with me here. This is really important. If you care about scaling and growing your business and you need leads and you want booked appointments, this is what you do. So on the workflow, the first step is we have Facebook lead form submitted. Excuse me. And we're saying if they fill out that Facebook lead form, what I just showed you, and we can even do a qualifier if they say their current monthly revenue is 100K plus, or we can leave this off and just say if they fill out any of those lead forms at all, then here are all the things that are going to happen. So step number 1, when someone fills out that Facebook lead form, it's going to create an opportunity in my sales pipeline. So now I've got an automatic sales pipeline that gets populated with new people. So it's called Leads Launchpad Leads. So they go in the inbound lead field with their name. I can give it a value, like here's how much our one-time setup fee is. The status is open. Boom, automatically. When people fill out that form, they're added to the sales pipeline. It assigns to a sales owner. Right now, this is me. I could put someone else on my team. So you can automatically have it be assigned to a certain sales owner. You can have a contact follower. If you have someone else on your team, you want to be watching that. I always like to give these a tag. And why this is important is because if I want to send all these people a text message or an email or something later, I'm going to be able to look them up by the tag right here. So it's going to add a tag. It's then going to send the notification to Slack. So actually update this. So we use Slack internally, and this is just a really cool place. It's kind of more of a dopamine hit for me. If I'm working, I always have Slack up on one of my screens and I see like new lead, here's their information. And it has all the questions they answered on Facebook. So just at a glance, I can see here's their name, here's their phone, here's how many leads they get a month right now, here's how many leads would change their life, here's their company website, here's their monthly revenue, all in Slack immediately. It's going to wait 2 minutes, and then it's going to send them a text message. Now, this is really important, so hang tight here. This pulls information that they also filled out from Genie Rocket. So all these weird little bracket things right here, these are custom fields, and we simply grab those from our custom values right here. Or sorry, custom fields. So contact, custom fields, and here's all the different custom fields we've ever used, which is a crap ton. But whenever you create your Genie Rocket lead form, you're going to build your own custom question. That's a custom field. And then you can pull it back in here into conversation. Now, why in the world would we do that? So think about this. Imagine this is you filling out this form and you get a text message and it says like, hey, Bob, just saw your submission come in from social. Excited to connect with you to come up with a plan to get from 2 leads a month to 20 leads a month for Bob's Furniture. Let's find a time to connect for 30 minutes so I can show you how we can help you create a 24/7 lead machine. Brad from Genie Rocket. So it takes the questions that they answered on Facebook, turns it into a text, and into a conversation. Like pretty amazing, but we're even going to go a step deeper. So after that, they get an email. It says, let's schedule your meeting. So we just have a little email template out here that looks really nice, which by the way, you can create inside of Genie Rocket too. Like, look at this. Does it require a little bit of work? Of course. But I just want to show you what's possible inside of Genie Rocket. So they get this really great email, again, pulls in their first name, pulls in all this information, and then has a link to manually schedule their meeting. But we go a step even beyond that. So after it sends that email, it waits a minute, and then it launches my favorite thing in the world, which is the appointment booking conversation AI bot. So the job here, before I just dive into the tech side here, just let's back up a second. So the AI booking bot is going to look at your calendar that's connected here, and it's going to have a text conversation with your lead with the singular goal of getting them on your calendar without leaving the text message screen. So just in short, again, let's think of Bob. Bob's going to get a message, and it's going to say, see if we have a initial message in here. Okay, we're on conversation bot. It's going to say something like, hey, Bob, let's get you on the books. What day of the week works best for you? Super conversational, all AI. And Bob says, Tuesdays are pretty good. The bot's going to automatically look at your calendar, whether it's Outlook, whether it's Google, whether it's iCalendar or iCloud. And it's going to say, great, we have this Tuesday open at 2 p.m., 4 p.m., or 4:30, which works best for you. Bob texts back and says 4:30. The bot texts back and says, great. So we got Tuesday at 4:30. Sound good? Bob says yes. And immediately it books the calendar appointment. It sends the calendar email to Bob and to you. It gets them on the calendar, and then it activates the booking bot that reminds them to show up to the appointment via text and email. And you've got a booked appointment on your calendar from a lead while you did nothing. And the lead, on the other hand, they went from Facebook to being curious. They filled out a contact form. They got a message back. That message gave them hope to fulfilling their goal, then invited them to have a conversation with you all through text. It booked the appointment for you. And all you got was a little notification that said you got a new lead, you got a new booked appointment, and you just show up for the appointment with it already connected up to your Zoom or your Google Meet, or you can just call them. And it is pure magic. And like I said, I have 3 or 4 of these today. I just got off one amazing call, and I've got 2 or 3 more today from this exact process. So if you're struggling with leads and you're looking for booked appointments, this is what to do. And if you are on Genie Rocket and you've never done this before and it feels intimidating or scary, don't be intimidated or scared. Anything that's worthwhile and that's valuable is going to require a little bit of work. You can't just sit back and want everything turnkey, everything easy, everything done for you and expect to see results on the other side. I will say this is much easier than it looks. And once you get into it, it's really not hard. And you've got no excuses because we have 24/7 live chat support here. And you can even request a Zoom call and they will hop on Zoom and help. We have, gosh, is it 500 people behind the scenes here that are all ready to go? It's not just all like AI powered responses, it's real people. And again, like real Zoom. So you just go here and start a conversation and it's all there. So if you get stuck, you've got an out. And this has been one of the best campaigns we've ever done. And it's consistently produced results, and just turning it off and on as you desire. You can change out budget. You can turn it off and on. You can make little adjustments along the way. But having a system like this is going to be an absolute game changer because nothing else really matters. You can have the best CRM and all these tools and emails, but if you don't actually have like leads and contacts coming into the system, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. You just have like a big tool. It's almost like, buying this brand new car that looks beautiful and you don't have any gas for it, so you can't take it anywhere. So it just sits. And you don't want Genie Rocket to be the sitting tool. You want it to be the go get 'em tool. And so pouring gas, which is ads, onto your product, service, program, business, and getting people in here and activating all these workflows is gonna get you that movement that you want. And that's what we're doing to consistently book calendars, and it works out great. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this. I'm gonna see if there's any questions in chat before we move on here. All right. Looks like everyone is good. Okay, great. So just a couple more minutes. Let me see what else I can show you guys. And again, I mean, look, we've had, 643 people enrolled in that same workflow that I showed you. So that's a lot of traction and results. I think I just want to keep it at that today. And here's why. You guys can go back and watch some of my other trainings in YouTube, Genie Rocket, under the live tab, because we've done a lot of stuff with AI. And AI is an incredible technology that you can use for voice AI, texting AI, content AI, creating images with it. But it's just a tool. And I think unless you've got a strong strategy for how you want to make it work, that's all it's going to be. So I do encourage you, as you're out there trying to find ways to grow your list or grow your sales or get more booked appointments, be thinking about not just like, do I have the right tools, but also do I have the right strategy? And that's what I was trying to show you today with how this works. One of the best formulas for an offer, and again, I'm going to take this from Alex Hermosi's playbook. I never like to claim this as my own. It is all shared thought, is the urgency scarcity bonus framework. When you are trying to create a compelling ad, you need to have that no-brainer offer. And if you want to really have like a grand slam offer, the three things that you need to include in that offer are those three items I just mentioned: urgency, scarcity, and bonus. Urgency is limited time offer. Scarcity is limited quantity offer. And bonus is we will also throw this in or take away this additional pain. When you have those three things in your offer, you increase the likelihood of a conversion, and you're not just playing the game of trying to spend more money to get less results. You want to make sure everything that you're doing is ethical, moral, and legal. So any offers that you do make, you do need to uphold, but you need to really press yourself, and it needs to almost keep you up at night for creating such a great offer that you're willing to give in order to have that conversation, have that relationship, and close a deal. Think about it as, I don't think many people think about themselves as a consumer. Think about all the things that you're marketed right now, everything that you see, all the ads you see, all the messages you see, hundreds of times a day. You have to find something that is going to stick out from the crowd, and you need to find something that's compelling enough that warrants a conversation and that people are actually excited to hop on a call with you, and they're not annoyed feeling like they're just getting a sales pitch. Just put yourself in their shoes. Conversations that I have are great. People are actually excited to talk. We have a conversation. They're thanking me at the end of the call because of what we covered. And you can do that too when you have a really good message, a really good offer, and you stay extremely relational on your sales calls. And all you're doing in sales is helping them get what they want. You're focusing less on your product, your service, your offer, your cost, blah, 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 and try to focus on their goals, right? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? What have you done before? What happens if you don't get to that goal, right? And then what would that look like if you did get to that goal? How would that change your life? Um, what's it worth to you, right? And then you just proving to them that you can help them get to that goal. And if it's a good fit, great. If it's not, that's okay. But you owe it to yourself and to that lead to bring your best and your A game and have that servant leader mindset of really unpacking what their goals are. Your goal on that sales call is not just to throw up your products and your pricing and your case studies. It's to be inquisitive, it's to be curious, it's to really see if it's a good fit and being okay if it's not. So that's all for today, guys. I'll catch you next week on Rocket Fuel Weekly. Again, we do this every Tuesday at 12:30. We're making these about 30 minutes long, and we're doing these live on YouTube. If you happen to miss any of these, make sure to go back on the Genie Rocket YouTube and subscribe to the channel so you know when we post.